Good morning. This is Sydney Millage. I'm learning, I'm sharing, and I have some news I'd like to pass on to each of you and friends, whoever would be interested. My name is Sydney Millage. I'm a biblical counselor, I'm an advocate, an author, people helper, especially as it relates to victims of domestic abuse, children and women in particular. That does not rule out men and family members. I'm the author of Sanctuary, Hope and Help for Victims of Domestic Abuse. And I want to tell you that there's a new book I've written. It's going to be released April 14th. And I would love to share it with you. Somehow I'm not seeing how to do this. I'm so used to Zoom. The title is 37 Ways to Be Taken Captive. It's less than 50 pages. It's going to be an easy read, a fast read, really attractive cover. I didn't design it, but I'm thankful for it. So keep your eyes out for that. Look for it on my Facebook page, Sanctuary, Help and Hope for Victims of Domestic Abuse. It's on Amazon. It'll be available paperback and also as an ebook. The other really exciting thing I want to tell you about is Clarity in Action Ministries. It's a new nonprofit that values and cares for victims of domestic abuse and equips the local church to care for them in a Christ-honoring way. The ways we're doing that are to provide training for churches and groups, and also individualized training. Let me grab my paper and I'll tell you what we're training. For the church training, by request, you can find all this information at clarityministry.org. The presenters for church training are myself and Pastor Mike Gittens. If you have been following Clarity in Action Ministries on Instagram or Facebook, you're already aware of Pastor Mike and his quotes and his teaching. You can follow us there. The church training will involve session 1, 60 minutes of a foundation. What does the Bible say about marriage and marriage roles? What does it say to husbands and wives? Session 2, dynamics of domestic abuse and oppression, domination. What is it? How does it work? How would you even recognize it? Session 3, a case study where you have an opportunity to work cooperatively in a group, reading perhaps just some demographics about an individual, things that she would have shared with people in a church or with people helpers at the time. And then you'll have an opportunity to read her story and what was really happening, the things that people did not know, and that she shared with them or shared with me later and has given you an opportunity, because the women who shared their stories want God to use their stories. They want God to be glorified and to do a work in the lives of others. After that, session 4, commonly misunderstood scripture. There are a lot of ways that we teach and understand scripture as it relates to mutual relationships, right? One another's. But when you have individuals in an oppressive relationship and you have one individual making all the decisions and another individual who does not get to make decisions or who is held captive, those scriptures taught to this audience actually do more damage. And they keep her here, and they provide or empower this individual to misuse scripture. So it's really helpful to know how to apply scripture in maybe a different setting, same scripture, same truths, but we need to rightly divide the word of truth. We need to be people who are discerning between good and evil, the way Hebrews 5:13 says, as life gets more difficult and when we're dealing with really difficult situations. And then the final session is on practical help. As a church, as a group, what are things you can do that are helpful and things that are not helpful? What does that look like? So those are 5 sessions. Takes roughly 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours. Put in breaks, have a lunch, uh, do like Pastor Mike did, and you could feed us all brisket, and we would be more than happy to come. The cost is simply our traveling fees. So we will not charge you. If you would like to give a gift to Clarity so that we can continue to work, we'd be really grateful. The individual training is a 12 session curriculum for people who are already active in the church, who perhaps are already biblical counselors, but they don't understand victim care. So the curriculum begins with biblical counseling basics and heart issues, truths that we're very familiar with, and looking at them as it relates to our own selves as people helpers. Uh, and it walks through a biblical view of suffering, crying out, trusting God. What is marriage? What are the dynamics of domestic abuse? What are important first steps as a people helper? Why is obedience important for us as people helpers? What does that look like? Biblical principles and practical considerations. That class does have a fee attached to it. And again, you can find the details on clarityministry.org at the website. We provide consultations by request. We're happy to help with that. We also have a number of resources available on our website. We're excited to get Clarity off the ground. We have seen the damage that is done by local churches who misunderstood, who think they're helping, or maybe think they're dealing with a mutual situation and they're not. Um, so if we can help provide the tools and the insight, if we can help bridge that gap of bringing Jesus in to those situations, in perhaps a way that you haven't thought of before or haven't used before, or maybe you're seeing a need for that in your own church or among people you know, or you want that for yourself, please check out clarityministry.org. Any gift, any financial gift will be gifted a copy of 37 Ways to be Taken Captive. As soon as it's released, we'll be getting those out for a gift of any amount to Clarity in Action Ministries. I'm really excited. I'm really thankful for you. Looking forward to meeting you, looking forward to getting out and about and continuing to be part of God's work. Thanks so much. Bye bye.